hand, shining between the long, sharp claws on her fingertips. Minora turned and ran. Chapter 1. The Creature Exposition. Boiling beasts! I'm dying! In the stifling heat of the midday sun, Jin yanked open the nearest window of the royal carriage and peered outside as it sped along the road, pulled by a team of sleek horses. He sighed as a cooling breeze blew in and took a deep breath, trying to calm himself. This is going to work, he muttered to himself. It just has to. Nervous, young emperor? A magnificent, scaly Ji-Lin looked at him curiously with golden eyes as it trotted easily beside his carriage, its great cloven hooves thumping on the wide dirt road. Who, me? Jin scoffed. Of course not. I'm just excited is all. The first ever monster exhibition is finally about to happen, and it's going to show the Samte people just how much we can gain by introducing creatures back into the three realms. The Ji-Lin tossed its antlered head, as if to shake something off its furry mane, and gave a disbelieving snort. Right. You've only been thinking, planning, and talking about this project for months, while all the court advisors and ministers have argued against it. No reason to be nervous indeed. There was no fooling a royal monster mate, Jin thought ruefully. It was true that when he'd ascended the Triad throne nearly a year ago with not just one monster mate, but two, he thought people would welcome the reintroduction of uncanny beasts to a land that had not seen any in decades. He hadn't expected there to be so much resistance to his ideas. He changed the subject. By the way, Chi, do you see the city walls of 5 foxtails yet? Jin craned his neck out the window. After the capital, Shining Claw, it was the next largest city and served as a trading hub for the eastern part of Samte, formerly called the Empire of the Three Realms. I don't, but I can scent it, the Ji-Lin replied. Dao just took to the air and will have a better view. Jin looked up to see the silhouette of the Pi-Yao against the blue autumn sky. Its wings were fully outstretched as it glided back and forth high above the Imperial Tour's long line of carriages, wagons, and carts. I hope the people in 5 foxtails don't panic at the sight of a winged lion flying around. A small, bony shoulder jostled him as a young girl in a dark servant's uniform joined him at the window. She gazed up at the Pi-Yao in flight. If you ask me, Dao looks more impressive than scary. Besides, everyone knows that you have 2 monster mates. Once people catch a glimpse of them, they'll know the Emperor has arrived. She looked at Jin, and dimples appeared in her cheeks. But promise me you'll get back into your robes before you show yourself. You don't look particularly royal right now. Jin glanced down at the simple tunic and pants that served as his travel clothes. Since becoming emperor, he rarely had a chance to shed the crown, formal robes, and other trappings of his station. He shrugged. Maybe I don't look great, but I feel great. I don't blame him, Bing-Yu, said a lanky boy leaning back in his seat across from them. He tugged at the collar of the formal palace robe worn by members of the Bureau of Divination. It's hot enough in here without those heavy silks. He pointed to the small, squat dog sprawled out listlessly on the floor of the carriage. I bet even Shishi wouldn't mind shedding her fur now. As if in response, Jin's dog roused herself and scratched vigorously at her thick ruff before plopping back down. Mao's right, said Jin. You'd think it was high summer still. He grinned at his friends. Though Bing-Yu was a servant and Mao was a whisperer, in charge of the uncanny beasts at the palace, they rode in the Emperor's carriage with Jin at his insistence. They were more like family to him than his only known relative, his grandmother, the former Empress Dowager and Regent of the Three Realms. She'd been cold and cruel, even threatening Jin with execution last year. It was only thanks to Mao, Bing-Yu, and Mao's twin sister, Masa, that he'd managed to escape. The Empress Dowager had run off shortly after, and he'd been on the Triad throne ever since. Bing-Yu moved across to the window on the other side of the carriage.